Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I feel really revved up about what we're talking about today, and it's really just this idea that your effort compounds, and what you're doing today might not show up tomorrow, but it is going to show up eventually. And that can work in your favor or against you. So let's just dive right in. Something that I think is almost going to like shell shock some of you guys is this idea that January is already in motion. Who you are in October is who you're going to meet in January. I'm a really big believer. And the reason why I'm talking about this now is because everyone has so much hype, obviously, around January, new year, new me, all these things. And I don't want you to be the person who gets to January and you look back at people sharing all the shit that they did in 2025 and you feel disappointed. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So your October literally determines your January. But I want to talk about why that is tangibly, emotionally, energetically, all of that, so that you really grasp that this is a topic to take so seriously. 90 days is very often how long it takes to see really meaningful results and the kind of momentum that so many of you are wanting, whether it's with your body, whether it is with your business, with content, whatever it is. It's 90 days is the amount of time where you can look back and you're like, wow, things have gone really good. Things have changed so fast. I feel like a completely new person, but that has to start today. And I want to be clear, I'm not saying that you can't get results before then. Like, results will absolutely come through. If we think about our bodies as a perfect example, you can absolutely see changes to your body within a month, but the kind of change that a lot of people seek, it does take more time. And in the grand scheme, 90 days is so short term, but it's crazy how wired we are for dopamine and instant gratification, because most people can't even go 2 weeks without giving up and quitting and pulling back because they're not seeing the results that they wanted. So 90 days is short term, but for a lot of you guys, 90 days is going to actually feel like a long-term plan, a long-term thinking. And I've been talking so much around this idea, but if you're watching this later or you're catching this podcast, this video at a later date and time, it doesn't matter that it's not October for you. Like, I still want you to take it really seriously, but you can't expect to meet a new version of yourself in the new year if you're still staying the same now. If you're still keeping the same standards, the same effort levels, the same beliefs, the same shady patterns that keep you stuck. What you do now, I want to be so utterly clear, what you do in the month of October is either going to compound in your favor or it's going to cost you. That's that. I actually just shared a reel today around the progress that I've made in the last 2 weeks on my goals. So 2 weeks ago, just to catch everyone up, I set 4 really big goals and I was calling it Project Transform. And the idea is I wanted to choose 4 areas of my life. And I talked about this in the last episode, so you can catch that too. 4 areas of my life that I really wanted to just blow it up a bit and shake this up, like really get myself out of ruts, out of like a state, out of my current line of thinking. I want to prove myself wrong and show myself I can go faster, bigger, better. Again, and I've done this many times, but I just been a little ruddy lately. You know what I mean? So I just want to get out of that and really break it for good. So my 4 goals are add $10,000 to my monthly recurring revenue before or by January, have some abs, but really for the abs, it's more around like I want to embody that level of intensity and discipline with my health. Brand, which is add either 10,000 followers to both of my accounts and really just stand up both accounts. And the last one is save an additional $50,000 by the end of the year. So within these last 2 weeks, I've been able to save around $20,000. I've added 3,000-ish in September to my monthly recurring revenue. And that one, honestly, is me coasting a little bit. I have been taking my fitness way more seriously, although I'm going to Turkey tomorrow, so I'm sure my progress is not going to do great there. But I want you to see that I'm taking it so seriously now because I want to be in a different place in January. The version of you who gets to be a new year, new you is built now. 90 days is enough time for you to build it or for you to blow it and get to January and be in the same place. Because January genuinely is magic. We treat it like it's magic a lot of the time. And I'm not a huge New Year's Eve kind of person, so maybe this contributes, but it's not magic. It is literally the choices that you've been making that lead up to you entering January and being like, oh, damn. This is a new year. This is feeling so good. Everything's feeling great. This is going to be the best year ever. That starts compounding this month. And this isn't absolute, but I do think it's a really good kind of concept to live by, which is your life is like 90 days behind your current choices. So I kind of want to just spend a short little minute exposing the patterns that keep you stuck, even though I know every single one of you is going to listen to this or watch this and you're going to be like, yes, I'm going to lock in October. Like I want the big growth. I want to blow my mind even in 2 weeks. Like I don't want to wait. I want this now. So let me just quickly name the patterns that are going to keep you from doing that. Number one, you're going to give up because the results aren't coming fast enough. You don't feel validated by the results. You are more focused on cashing in your short-term comforts, scrolling, skipping the last set at the gym, not going for that extra 2,000 steps that you said you were going to hit, emotional eating at night because you would literally rather just avoid feeling something or facing something and being comfortable. You want relief. You want to feel comfortable now at any cost, even if it means your future. That's instant gratification. The second reason that'll come up is you'll confuse being busy with being effective. There are so many people, and I've been in this too. There's so many people who they stay busy, they stay going after their goals. There are most of the girls who are watching this right now are very good at looking busy. You're very good at feeling like you're constantly going after your goals. You never stop going after your goals. You're always on top of your shit. You're always doing personal development. But do your results show that constant compounding of effort and results? If no, it's because you're very good at looking busy. You're very good at distracting yourself. You're very good at almost like placating the part. But if you don't get the benefit of compounding efforts, it's because of this. The next one, this is my biggest actually like sneaky behavior that I always have to catch, which is you pull back quietly when you think you might not hit the goal, or you just kind of like you go, and then suddenly it's and down. That's something I have to watch out for myself. And that's all ego. It's ego of I don't want to be seen failing. It's ego of I don't really want to talk about the fact that I don't think I'm going to hit it. But it's also quitting early. It is the fact that you quit the race. I quit the race, right? It's quitting the race before you even can get through the finish line. That's like running a marathon and at like mile, I don't know, 18 being like, I'm done. I'm done. I don't think I'm going to like my time. Rather than being like, I have 8 more miles to fix this. 8 more miles to give it my all, to even see this through. Like you will have, I'm glad I chose this analogy just now because if you stop at mile 18, you've now become the person in the marathon who you quit. You don't get to say you completed a marathon. You quit. And you know as soon as those if you were to just finish those 8 miles, right? But because you quit at mile 18, you're going to be so pissed the minute you stop and pull out of that race. So pissed. And wouldn't you rather say, I gave it my all? It didn't turn out like I wanted, but I'm so proud that I ran it, right? You're like, when you do this in business, when you do this with fitness, when you do this in dating, when you do this in any area of your life, you're literally pulling out at like mile 18. Wouldn't it be better to finish the whole marathon? Because you would have so much personal growth in those last 8 miles, even if it's grueling. You will have so much growth, but it's the same in life. It is literally the exact same in life, but we pull out often because our egos. We don't want to be seen getting to mile 26 and having it look ugly or having the time that we don't want. I hope this blows your mind because it should. This is a huge thing going on. And if your ego's at play, you're never going to hit the goal because your ego will always create the opposite of what it wants. So if your ego is like, I don't want to be seen failing, you're going to fail. That's what's going to pull out and play through. The last thing that other set of you girls will constantly do, and clock yourself if this is you. You will declare that this is your year. You'll declare that you have these big goals. You'll declare that this is going to be the time that things change. I'm going to really try harder and I'm going to really go at this on my own. You're going to declare all the things. And you don't have the structure, the support, the nervous system, the identity, the habits to actually see it through. So what do? You don't follow through. You break your self-trust. And it ends up getting to this point where eventually this is when girls, they'll wait so effing long to come to me. And if this is you, don't do this. They'll wait so long until their self-trust is completely broken. They don't trust themselves to hit their goals. They don't believe they can do it. They don't trust that they're going to follow through. So they don't even want to try. It's just like, why'd you wait that long to get help? Why do you need to be so down bad to help yourself, right? Why couldn't you respect yourself to get the help earlier. So don't do that. Don't declare these goals. Say this is the time and then not do it. And I see this a lot. I see it in my DMs, and I love you guys and I love that you come talk to me, but it breaks my heart. And if you want me to, if you're like, tell me if this is me, I will. You just let me know. Give me permission. But it breaks my heart in the DMs when girls come to me and they declare this is it, this is it, this is it. You know, they inquire and then they ghost them. They're not ghosting me. They're ghosting themselves. They're ghosting themselves in that conversation when they think they're ghosting me, right? They say it's their time, and then I hear for them six weeks, 3 months, 6 months, even a year later, and we're still in the same place, right? And that's what I don't want for you guys. So if this is you, ask yourself, what needs to be in place for this to be different than all those other times that I've declared that this time is going to be different? You know what I mean? And let me just quickly talk about October. October, fall, we're entering holiday season. And it is annoying and inconvenient to have to stay some level of disciplined during the holidays, right? That's what a lot of people think. But when you work with me and when you learn how I teach inside Fiera, my programs, my courses, how discipline is fun, how discipline is committing to who you want to be, it doesn't become this thing that you have to avoid during holiday seasons. It doesn't become like, well, I want the cookies instead, or I want this instead, or I want this instead. That's why I'm not going to hit my goals, right? It doesn't become that. But if that's how you're thinking, that it's inconvenient and I don't want to have this exchange of anything, then if you can't commit during holidays, you're probably not going to commit in January either, because it's about the patterns. But if you would just learn how to be disciplined in the way that we teach inside Fiera, you're not going to have to feel like you're giving all that up. It's going to feel like discipline feels so fun and freeing in my world. But what I don't want anyone to do, which is why this podcast is happening now, is I don't want anyone to wake up January 1st and feel so dragged by the same goals, the same excuses, the same energy, the same stories, and having to wake up and literally be like, 2025 was not my year. I'm going to be so real with you. That was me last year. 2024 was one of my hardest years. I had these really crazy physical health problems that I wouldn't wish on other people at all. I grieved so much about things in my personal life, and I felt so broken, and I got so depressed and tried to basically just not really address it fully, and it bled into my business, right? And I'm actually very grateful it happened, because it created the catalyst that was like, I need to basically burn my business down and create Fiera, and it's been so amazing. I did wake up January 1st, 2025, and I was like, oh my God, I was heartbroken. I literally was heartbroken. I remember seeing one reel in particular of someone who actually went on to he became my mentor, but I remember seeing that reel, and it was talking about all the things he'd accomplished in 2024. And I was just like, I can't say that about myself. And I did actually accomplish great things in 2024. So that just tells you the mentality that I was at. But and I really did. I had great wins, but I was so low. And I was like, I don't want to wake up again and feel like I closed out that year of a chapter, and I was just disappointed because I didn't keep my word as much as I could have, and I didn't live up to my full potential. I don't want that for you. And that's a really big reason that I built Fiera, is so that you don't keep living life on autopilot. You don't keep feeling like you're not living up. Like, so many girls chase their potential always. They're always chasing it. They're always chasing it. They're always chasing it. They're not actually living it. If you always feel like, if you feel the sentiment so often of, I'm not living up to my potential, and I know I have more in me, and I think I should be further, like, that is a really good sign that Fiera is for you, because you can't just keep trying to white knuckle this alone. You need a place where your ego gets checked, where you shift your relationship with discipline, where you actually build confidence. There's so many girls who have been chasing confidence for years, if not their whole lives. I mean, it was me for a very long time. But I literally have a neuroscience-backed process inside Fiera to build confidence. It takes less than 15 minutes a day. It's in tier 1. And when you get inside, every week you are challenged, you are held, you are coached. And it's why girls have such crazy results. They're writing books, they're moving abroad, they're landing their highest paying jobs, they're nailing opportunity after opportunity. They're starting to date, they're tripling their income, they're investing more than ever. Like, they're doing great things that they thought would be so far away, because they get the training to up their nervous system, their discipline, their confidence, their identity, their habits, to actually close the gap between who they've been and who they want to be. October can be that month for you. 3 girls joined tier 2 yesterday, and 2 girls said something that it really just stuck with me, and when they told me these things, I was like, "You're gonna win. You're gonna win. That's all I needed to know. You're gonna win. You should be in this room." One of them said she asked herself, "What would I do if I weren't afraid?" And she was giving me all these fears about joining Fiera, and she asked herself, she was like, "What would I do if I weren't afraid?" And she was like, "Oh, I would join. Oh, yep, I know I need this support. I keep coming back to you. I know I wanna be in the room. If I weren't afraid, this is what I would do." So I want you to actually ask yourself, what would you do if you weren't afraid? What would you do in October? Maybe even what would you do in Fiera, right? But like, what would you be doing if you weren't afraid? That's what you need to be doing. And the second girl who joined, she also was saying she's terrified. It's super normal to be terrified when you're joining in a big community like Fiera, and it's so new and you've never been held at that standard. But she was saying she's terrified, but she literally cannot stay the same. It was like a 2-minute audio to me. So it was like so raw around how much she cannot stay where she is, and that's why she's joining. But everyone says that, but she meant it. She took action on it, right? You can't just say it, say it, say it. That's why you lose trust. She meant it. And so it's like, I want even that to be a sign for you in October. Rather than saying it, rather than saying you're going to do it, what do you need to do differently so that you actually action it? So I have a couple questions that I want you guys to ask yourself. Number 1, where am I wasting time and coasting right now? I guarantee one of the biggest reasons why you're coasting is either you're very dysregulated or you have a belief system that is only calibrated to keep you where you are. Both things fixed in Fiera. Second question, what are 1 or 2 behaviors that are sabotaging my January right now? And then the last question, who do I want to meet on January 1st? Am I building them up now or hoping that they just magically appear? And I want to be clear, you can't just decide once. Most of you will listen to this podcast and not even answer those questions. You won't get your journal out. You'll just think nice thoughts about it. Go get your journal out, right? Like do it, action it. You can't just decide this once. You can't just declare it once. Don't just get fired up from this podcast episode and then go on with your day. You might need the training, the systems, the accountability to hold the line, to hold the standards, to up your effort so that come January 1st, you're ready. And if you need that, come join Fiera, okay, guys? That is the place for you. So many women are hopping in right now and they're seeing the results so fast. It can be you too. So remember, your October decides your January. It's happening now. The effort is compounding or it's costing you. So make the decision. Which team do you want to play on? Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And I will catch you guys in the next episode. Of course, if you love this, please, please, please rate it. Give us a thumbs up on YouTube, whatever you got to do. And I'll see you soon.